What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Definitely, before we get in this video, I definitely want to say, if y'all could say a special prayer, for my nana. She's in the hospital right now. Definitely my best friend. Not gonna lie, I don't know. I definitely feel like as you know, times have definitely been getting a little tough. If y'all hear a garage open, I definitely apologize. But times have been getting, a little tough, and things have, been pretty down, when it comes down to this year, with everything, when it comes down to YouTube, with myself, family members being in the hospital, to losing a couple friends, a couple buddies of mine. I know it's life and stuff like that, but I do pray that things definitely do get better. I pray for y'all. I'm praying that, things get better for y'all as well. I also want to give a special shout out and a special prayer, to Tim, Twins New Trend. If y'all don't know who Twins, the new trend is on YouTube, they were posting a lot. I actually, pointed out and got them to understand, things that was going on political wise and stuff like that. Tim and Fred, his son is, in the hospital. I'm not going to go too deep in details, but pretty sure he's not even one yet, but in the hospital. And it definitely need prayers. I definitely say that. Definitely need prayers. But like I said, things have definitely been tough. But one thing about it, try my best, to stay positive, to keep pushing and keep striving as much as possible. I've been going through things, and I'm definitely blessed. I'm not going to take that, there's things going on, within my car and having to get a lawyer. And it's a lot of things, that is going on. And I'm trying to, take everything, day by day. One thing about it, I could definitely say that I am truly blessed. And I thank God, for everything that he does, for myself, for my family, and for y'all, that's watching. Definitely want to check in and tap into this video though of, what's going on in New York. There's a lot of talk that Zohran Mamdani isn't, getting with the program when it comes down to ICE. Let's check it out.
I think that what we've found from the Republican administration has been a desire to make any and all immigration illegal. And I sit before you as one of the first immigrant mayors of our city in generations. I lead a city where of 8.5 million people, more than 3 million are immigrants. And so when we're talking about legitimate claims to asylum, I think that those should be honored. When we're talking about immigration enforcement, I think that it should be humane. I talk about our pride in being a sanctuary city in terms of the policies that we practice. I'll give you an example of those policies. We are willing to work with the federal government on more than 170 serious crimes if someone has been convicted of them. What we are unwilling to do is to participate in civil immigration enforcement with a federal government that has said openly it wants to deport a vast majority of people for crimes that we will never even know. That is where I think I see the tension.
So regardless of what he's saying, and it says here Mamdani is blatantly lying, and I definitely feel as he is. It says he refuses to allow NYPD to cooperate with ICE, and we obviously see that. It's one thing, about talking about something and going with it, but he's literally talking about this and saying that he's willing to work. Although we're seeing multiple videos of him, of him having NYPD not work with ICE, or and him not working with ICE at all. I'm gonna show y'all, even a few things that's going on with people and how they're treating ICE, and it's definitely a very insane thing of what's going on, with the people and what they're doing to these ICE agents in the cars. You have it right here, Tom Homan. And it literally made a lot of sense when it came down to what he was saying, as well as what they're going to be doing in the next steps in New York City. Check it out.
Well, look, he can have his opinion, but he's not going to stop ICE from doing their job. What he should do is go talk to the parents of Lake and Riley. Because there's a place, that alien that killed her was arrested in New York City. If it wasn't a sanctuary city, he would have been handed over to us and he'd been locked up, probably deported. Go talk to her family. He talks about he doesn't want to assist in civil immigration enforcement. Okay, so why'd you lock us out of Rikers Island? Because that's all criminals. So he just don't want immigration law enforced. And he's damn right. Every illegal alien in this nation that's here illegally, across the border illegally, which is a crime, needs to be deported. That's called the rule of law. If he doesn't like it, call your members of Congress, tell them to change the law. But he's right. President Trump is sitting in the Oval Office today because of his promise to secure the border. We have the most secure border in history of this nation now. And because he promised mass deportations, which we're doing. Matter of fact,
exactly.
I read in a lot of social media posts that we're not living up to it. Just a bunch of crap, right? We're numbers.
I even seen there was a post about in Ohio, there's a lot of individuals that is self-deporting. And I feel like it is, and I've said this from the get-go. I'm not going to go back to what I said. I truly feel as if it is definitely important to clean house. I feel like it's really important to clean house when it comes down to it, to get things together. Like I've always said, you can't keep on adding. I feel like it's just adding fuel to the fire each and every time. I mean, you're having illegal aliens here. You already have crime that's going on as is. So I truly agree with what Tom Homan is saying. I mean, we got to think of like this mayor is doing a lot. This is an individual who was trying to have a meeting with Iran. This is an individual who has promised, a million things of New Yorkers and haven't went through with it. Another thing, he's the same one that sat with prisoners in Rikers. These at the end of the day, a lot of those individuals have done horrible things. But watching the game and eating, and I mean having good food at that. And I just truly just think it's not right and it's not fair at all. You have ICE clearly in New York City. A lot of people aren't liking it at all, and literally recording every move of them.
Got this car right here.
Showing license plates, and I'm sure we'll be following around and having those different discords like they usually do. Says New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani labels ICE as an agency that terrorizes Americans across the country. Says for so much ICE operation that has little to do. So look at this. This is how I feel. This is how I feel about this. Before I even read, because a lot of the things that he says is BS. When Americans do things that's very unsafe without letting them do their jobs, and then when they do their jobs, when I'm speaking on this law enforcement, rather if it's ICE, it's police, or anybody, and they get in the way and they want to do this and do that, when they actually do their jobs and they get people away and then they get tougher and want to say this and want to say that, then they go into playing victim. You can't do that. Let them do their jobs at the end of the day. That's truly how I feel. You literally have it right here, and this is exactly what I mean. You have leftists that are now slashing the tires of ICE agents' vehicles.
Put up the sunshade. These guys just got their tires redone too.
That's crazy, bro. Y'all see how horrible individuals are acting. Literally slashing multiple tires of ICE agents' vehicles. And it just goes to show you on how nasty and disrespectful, people are when it comes down to this. I don't care what nobody say. This is stuff that should never happen. Also, you have New Jersey ICE agents leaving Starbucks empty-handed because they got chased out of Starbucks. And it just goes to show y'all of just how everywhere, things have been when it comes down to ICE agents. I'm telling y'all, definitely insane. You have a big protest that has been happening in New York. And it's like I said, it's truly crazy that so many people are doing and acting like this when you're having a lot of this crime, going on. You don't have a lot of people protesting the simple fact that a lot of these illegal aliens that have done something, they're not out there and saying, "Oh, ICE needs to go here, ICE needs to go there." But we do have illegal aliens that have done this to this child or that child. They don't care. And that's what hurts a lot, is the simple fact that there are so many children that have lost their lives, so many young adults, so many teenagers, and people, at that, human beings that have lost their lives because of it. And it's truly sickening. Truly sickening. I'm telling y'all, this truly has to stop. Not only that, says nearly 800-meter stretch in New York has turned into a full-blown illegal open-air drug bazaar. Vendors are offering unauthorized painkillers, pills, and other pharmaceuticals right on the street. Look at this. I'm telling y'all, he needs to be arrested. And I'm speaking on Mayor's Zohran Mamdani, and that's just how I feel. It's definitely a horrible, sickening place. But this again is what I've constantly talked about, what other creators have talked about when it came down to it, of what's going down in New York. Truly sickening. I'll tell y'all that. One thing about it, I want people to remember what President Trump said when it comes down to Zohran Mamdani not working with ICE.
Mr. President, your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zohran Mamdani, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zohran Mamdani?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him.
And y'all see it. One thing about it, I ain't want that music blasting in y'all ears. One thing about it is that I truly don't blame him. I'm not about to sit here and blame President Trump for what he was saying of him, going to arrest him, because obviously not letting ICE doing what they need to do. One thing about it, I truly agree. You got it right here. Tom Homan says that ICE will surge into New York City very, very soon. Big operation when it comes down to it. And trust and believe, I cannot wait, because it is time to get things together. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know y'all comments and thoughts down below. Catch y'all next one.